So now President Obama has told us over and over again, well, look, he is against torture. That was one of the first orders he had, that we will not be doing torture anymore, enhanced interrogations, waterboarding, all of that is out because we got change in America. Now, that did not prevent him from wanting to nominate John Brennan to be the head of the CIA. When he first came into office in 2009, John Brennan was involved in the torture program when he was at the CIA. Now, at the time, progressives mattered a tiny bit. It was right after his first election, so he couldn't do that. So he made him his top counterterrorism advisor at the White House. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it was much of a demotion. But President Obama just had to have John Brennan, the torturer, in at the CIA no matter what. So in his second term, he installed him to head the CIA anyway. Now, all these different folks always claim that John Brennan is such a moral guy, and oh man, he is so tortured when he does those drone strikes, and he's known as Dr. Drone now. He's the main advocate for that program, even though they kill first responders with double taps, even though they do signature strikes on people. We have no idea who they are, and we kill them anyway. That's the moral guy. In fact, so-called progressives like Harold Koh, who used to be at Yale and then got co-opted by the Obama administration, say that if John Brennan is the last guy in the room with the president, I'm comfortable because Brennan is a person of genuine moral rectitude. It's as though you had a priest with extremely strong moral values who was suddenly charged with leading a war. A priest, please. Now, I'm about to tell you what he's doing at the CIA in a second, but I'm not done yet. One more for you. Karen DeYoung's profile of John Brennan said some White House aides describe him as a nearly priest-like presence in their midst with a moral depth leavened by a dry Irish wit. Oh, what a great guy John Brennan is! What a strong moral center he had as he was torturing people or ordering it and being part of that program. Now, of course, later he says, oh, quietly, I told no one at the CIA, I told no one in the Bush administration, but quietly I was against the torture program. Even his best friends who say, yes, he should be the head of the CIA, he's a great guy, say, I never heard him say he was against the torture program. Well, now he has a great opportunity to prove that he was against the torture program, because you know why? The interim head of the clandestine service for the CIA is a woman. We don't know her identity, obviously. She's head of the clandestine office, right? Now, it's an interim position, and John Brennan's going to have to decide who's going to take that position ultimately. Now, not only was this woman involved in the torture program and one of the top-level people who sanctioned it, but she was one of the people, the only one of only two people who signed on to the memo destroying the tapes back in 2005. We had the torture tapes. Zubaida was waterboarded 83 times. Jose Rodriguez, who was the other person, who was their boss at the time, who signed that paper, said, if we release these tapes, it'll be so devastating to us. Well, then why did you do it? Why did you do the torture in the first place? And by the way, how effective could torture be if you had to waterboard the guy 83 times? Obviously, it doesn't work, but these sadistic people did it anyway. You can say, hey, Cheney ordered me. Great, let's have that trial. But that's not what they say. They don't have to say anything because Obama doesn't look backward, he only looks forward. Let me say one more small note before I finish up with this woman who's now in this position and what Brennan's going to do. John Kiriakou, the one CIA agent who was against the torture program, said it so publicly, about to go to prison for 30 months. What happened, Obama? I thought you don't look backward. Oh, when you want to punish the people who revealed the program, you do look backward. Because the reality is President Obama has always loved these torturers. He's never had a problem with them and loves promoting them. So now what's John Brennan going to do? Is he going to take this woman who is clearly at the core of the torture program and give her a promotion? Well, of course he is. But he can't seem like he's going to give her a promotion because he's in the middle of denying that he ever had anything with the torture program. So John Brennan has a genius idea. He's going to appoint a committee which will advise him. I'll get back to that committee in a second, but I want to have the Washington Post describe to you exactly what's going on here. A week before Brennan's confirmation, a woman had been placed in charge of CIA's clandestine service for the first time in the agency's history. Well, that's great. She's a veteran officer with broad support inside the agency. Sounds lovely. But she also helped run the CIA's detention and interrogation program after September 11th of 2001 and signed off on the 2005 decision to destroy videotapes of prisoners being subjected to treatment critics have called torture. Do you hear that? She helped run the torture program and then illegally destroyed evidence of it. Did she get prosecuted? No, she's about to get promoted. So already promoted to interim chief. Brennan says, I'm going to get together a committee. Don't worry about it. This is Profiles in Courage, by the way. That's also unprecedented. The CIA chief simply picks that position. He doesn't do a committee. Why is he doing a committee? So he can say, oh, I didn't pick her. I got these top CIA experts to weigh in on it. So it turns out they're in favor of her. Now, how do we know that? Turns out the people on the committee are John McLaughlin, Stephen Capps, and Mary Margaret Graham. 2 out of the 3, John McLaughlin and Stephen Capps, also integral in the CIA torture program. Now, do you think they're going to come out and say, oh, she's unacceptable? She ran the program we were all in favor of? No. They're going to make her the head of that, and Brennan's going to say, oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. Brennan is the most political guy inside the in the entire administration. Another set of critics, there aren't very many critics because he's kind of like the Dick Cheney of this administration. He is excellent at bureaucratic infighting and seeming like he's, oh, what, me? Golly gee, oh, I don't want to do those drone strikes. Bomb away, bomb away. Oh, you guys agreed to do it. Oh, what can I do? Oh, I didn't want to do the torture, but you tortured all those people anyway. Oh, golly gee, what can I do? He apparently does the BCC trick. Any of you work in a corporate environment or office environment, you know the jerks who do the BCCs? So that's a blind CC where you don't know where the email is going to your boss, and he says all this incriminating stuff about you or gets you to say incriminating stuff. That apparently John Brennan used that all the time. All right, now it seems like a small thing compared to all this other stuff. No, it gives you an insight into him. And it gives you an insight into how stupid or complicit the Obama administration is. That they can't figure out this guy loves torture, this guy loves drone strikes, this guy loves doing every immoral thing there is in the playbook while pretending to be the most moral priest that the Obama administration has. Well, it doesn't matter about any of it really, because the bottom line is the buck stops with President Obama, who punishes people who expose the torture program, and once again will be promoting somebody who was involved in the torture program. Change my ass.